Ancient Rome, one of the most powerful empires in world history, continues to captivate and fascinate us to this day. From its origins as a small village on the banks of the Tiber River, Rome grew into a sprawling empire that dominated the Mediterranean world for centuries. Its influence on Western civilization, from law and governance to art and culture, is still felt today. However, Rome's rise was followed by a period of decline and fall that ultimately brought an end to its once great empire. In this essay, we will explore the rise and fall of ancient Rome and examine its lasting legacy. Ancient Rome is one of the most fascinating civilizations in human history. The story of its rise and fall is a tale of power, ambition, conquest, and decline. From its humble beginnings as a small village on the banks of the Tiber River, Rome went on to become one of the most powerful empires in the world, spanning 3 continents and ruling over tens of millions of people. But this power and prosperity came at a cost, and the empire eventually succumbed to internal decay and external pressures, leaving behind a legacy that still echoes through the ages. The early republic, from village to empire. Rome was founded in 753 BC, according to legend, by the twins Romulus and Remus. The city grew rapidly and became the center of a small but powerful kingdom, ruled by a succession of kings. However, in 509 BC, the last king was overthrown, and the Roman Republic was born. The early years of the Republic were marked by political turmoil and military conflict. The Roman army, composed of citizen soldiers who were expected to serve in times of war, proved to be a formidable force. Rome quickly conquered the neighboring Latin cities and began to expand its territory through a series of wars with its neighbors. By the end of the 4th century BC, Rome had become the dominant power in Italy. The Punic Wars, Rome versus Carthage. In the 3rd century BC, Rome's expansion brought it into conflict with Carthage, a powerful city-state on the coast of North Africa. The resulting series of wars, known as the Punic Wars, would shape the course of Roman history. The First Punic War, fought from 264 to 241 BC, was primarily a naval conflict over control of the Mediterranean. Rome emerged victorious, gaining control of Sicily, Corsica, and Sardinia. The Second Punic War, fought from 218 to 201 BC, was a much more serious threat to Rome. Carthage, under the leadership of the brilliant general Hannibal, invaded Italy and won a series of stunning victories. However, Rome's resilience and determination eventually turned the tide, and Hannibal was defeated at the Battle of Zama in 202 BC. The Third Punic War, fought from 149 to 146 BC, was a brutal and one-sided conflict in which Rome destroyed Carthage completely. The city was razed to the ground, and its people sold into slavery. With Carthage gone, Rome was now the undisputed master of the Western Mediterranean. The Roman Empire, Augustus, and the Pax Romana. By the 1st century BC, Rome had become a superpower, with territory stretching from Spain to Syria. However, the Republic was beset by political corruption and social unrest, and a series of civil wars plunged the state into chaos. In 31 BC, the young general Octavian emerged victorious from the last of these conflicts. He was declared Augustus by the Senate, and Rome became an empire. Under Augustus and his successors, the Roman Empire reached the height of its power and prosperity. The Pax Romana, or Roman peace, brought stability and security to the Mediterranean world. The empire's vast territories were governed by a system of provinces, each ruled by a governor appointed by the emperor. The economy thrived, thanks to the empire's vast agricultural resources and its extensive trade networks. Roman culture also flourished during this time. Literature, art, and architecture all reached new heights, with works like Virgil's Aeneid, the Colosseum, and the Pantheon still standing as testaments to the empire's achievements. The decline and fall of Rome. However, the seeds of Rome's decline were sown during this period. As the empire expanded, it became increasingly difficult to govern. Corruption and inefficiency were rife, and the vast bureaucracy needed to run the empire became bloated and unwieldy. The military, which had been the backbone of Roman power, began to decline as recruitment became more difficult and the soldiers themselves became more concerned with their own welfare than with the defense of the empire. External pressures also began to mount. The Germanic tribes on Rome's northern border grew stronger and more organized, and began to raid Roman territory. In the east, the Parthians and later the Sassanids posed a threat to Rome's control of the Middle East. And in the 3rd century AD, the empire was hit by a series of devastating plagues that killed millions and weakened the population and the economy. In response to these challenges, the emperors began to centralize power and rely more heavily on the military. This led to a succession of brutal military dictatorships, as ambitious generals and usurpers vied for the throne. The period from 235 to 284 AD is known as the crisis of the 3rd century, and it nearly destroyed the empire. Despite some brief periods of stability, the empire was unable to recover from these challenges. In the 5th century AD, barbarian tribes began to invade in earnest, and Rome was unable to withstand their onslaught. In 476 AD, the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was deposed by the Germanic king Odoacer, and the Western Roman Empire came to an end. Legacy of Rome. Despite its decline and fall, the legacy of Rome is still felt today. Roman law and governance have influenced Western legal systems for centuries, and the Latin language has left its mark on countless modern languages. The Roman Catholic Church, which grew out of the Christian Church in Rome, remains one of the largest and most influential religious institutions in the world. Roman culture, too, has had a lasting impact. The ancient Roman myths and legends, such as those of Jupiter, Venus, and Mars, still capture the imagination of millions. The art and architecture of Rome, from the Colosseum to the aqueducts, still inspire awe and wonder. And the philosophy and literature of the Roman world, from Cicero to Seneca, continue to be studied and admired. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the rise and fall of ancient Rome. We hope that you have gained a deeper understanding and appreciation of this remarkable civilization and its enduring legacy. As we continue to study and learn from the past, we are reminded of the importance of preserving and cherishing our shared cultural heritage. Join us again for more explorations of history and culture, as we seek to understand the world around us and the human experience that binds us together.